This tiny little thing right here is one of the best and handiest pieces of camera accessories I know of, and it might save you a ton of time on every single shoot. It is a part of the Falcam F22 Quick-Release System, which I have been using for a few years now, and you'll see why I love it so much in just a bit. Before we go any further, I just want to say that Falcam reached out to me and asked if I wanted to make a video about this system, so some of this gear has been sent to me by them, but some of it I have owned for a few years before making this video. They're also not going to see this video before I post it, and they did not ask me to say anything specific about this system, so all of these thoughts are 100% my own. But now let's take a look at what the Falcam F22 system is all about. So the whole idea of this system is that you have these tiny little square mounting plates that you can attach to anything that has the right size thread. So a 1/4 20 thread, which is a standard thread that you can find in a ton of different camera gear, like in cages or monitors or in some mics as well, or in larger camera bodies built in too. Now the other end of this system is the adapter that locks onto these mounting plates. So for example, here on this monitor mount, I have an adapter on the top and the bottom, and then I can just take this plate and slide it in there and it locks onto place. And then this guy I could slide onto, for example, this top handle. And then if I had this guy screwed onto the monitor, for example, I could just simply slide the monitor into the monitor mount, just like so. When you slide the adapter in, it locks in very tightly and securely, and all I have to do to take it out is to press this little button on the side of the adapter, and then it just slides out. So all I have to do to unmount an accessory from my camera cage is to press a button and slide it out. It's really that simple, and then all I have to do is even less. I just have to slide it back in and it's locked on there very tightly and very securely. It's so damn fast and easy, and you don't have to hassle around with screws or anything like that. It's just a very simple quick release system for your camera accessories, and when you really start using it and utilizing it to its fullest potential, you can really see how it changes the way you use your camera gear. Let me demonstrate. So right here I have a top handle, a side handle, a monitor mount, and then a Falcam cage with a ton of the F22 mounting plates all around the cage. But keep in mind that you can use this system with any other types of camera gear and any other cages too, so you don't need to have this one. I'm just using this for demonstration purposes for this video. So if we take the side handle, I can just slide it into the side of this cage like so, but if I want to go vertical, I can just press the little button on the side of this mount and then just put it on the top of the camera cage, and now I have a vertical grip. But for this demonstration, let's go horizontal. So I'm just gonna slide it back in there, and now I want to add the top handle, so I'll just slide it into the top of the cage and then move it in position to the middle of this cage. So now I have a side handle and a top handle. Now let's say I want to add a monitor mount, so I have one of these extra small plates on the end of this top handle, so right here. So I can just take the monitor mount and then slide it in just as easy as that. Now I don't actually have a monitor at home, but let's pretend that my phone is a monitor. So I have this phone holder, and then I have my phone right here, and on the bottom of the phone holder there's a 1/4 20, like a standard thread on the bottom of the phone holder. So let's just grab the small plate from the top handle, and then I can just screw it onto the bottom of the phone holder with this little tool that comes in the box with this F22 system. So now with the plate on the bottom of this phone holder, that is not a Falcam product, this is just a random, I don't know, it's maybe a small rig or something like that. I can just put my phone in here, and now I can just slide the phone into this little mount right there, just as easy as that. And if I want to take it off, I can just press this little button and it comes off. But now let's say I didn't want to have the top handle in this setup, so I can just press the little button on the side of the monitor mount and take the monitor out, just as easy as that, and then press the button on the top handle, and now the handle comes off just like that. And then I could just slide the monitor into the top of the cage, and now I have the monitor on the cage but without the top handle. But I don't think this makes sense, so I could just grab the monitor and slide that onto the side handle mount there, and then just take the top handle back and then have that on the cage, just like that. It all happens so damn fast, so maybe now you can start to see why I love this system so much. It's just so easy to take these parts out and then put them in a different place, and you can just tweak this whole setup so damn quickly and so damn easily. It's just like literally I just press a button and this comes off, and then when I want to put it back on, I can just slide it in there. It's so fast to do all of this type of setting up and taking down the cage and the rig that you have just with these little buttons and these mounts. It's super easy, super fast. I just really love this system. Especially if you're someone who uses a lot of different types of accessories with their camera and swaps them out to different ones depending on your shoot, or if you're someone who has to take apart the whole rigging setup when you're packing your bags, I think you're really going to fall in love with the Falcam F22 Quick-Release System. Now, if you want to use this system without a camera cage and with a very small and lightweight setup, Falcam also makes a hot shoe to F22 adapter, so you can get that and put it on top of your camera, which is something I've used a ton of. The hot shoe on your camera maybe isn't the most rugged way to rig out your camera, so this is something I couldn't really recommend doing, but it's something I have done a lot of for years without any issues. So it's possible to do, but it might be a bit risky. After I got the hot shoe adapter for my camera, I haven't really taken it off at all because I just don't really need to. And then when I need to use something like a top handle, I can just slide it in there and slide it out with a press of a button. And I also have an adapter on my mic, so I can just slide my mic in there. And then when I want to swap it out to the top handle, I can just do like a quick slide in a couple of seconds and I have swapped out the gear. Or I could use a monitor with the same technique. So it's just a very fast and easy way to switch the gear that is sitting on top of my camera without a cage. Personally, I would rather use my camera without a cage, so this setup works very well for me, but once again, I cannot recommend doing it because the hot shoe of your camera really isn't that rugged, so it might end up breaking, and then I don't want you to blame me because I said you could do that in this video. So, you know, do it at your own risk if you want to have a very lightweight and very quick and easy rigging system for your camera. But, you know, I do it, but I can't recommend doing it, you know, if that makes any sense. Now, when it comes to all the different types of accessories the Falcam F22 system has, there's a ton of them. In addition to the ones I have showed you in this video, there are things like super clamps, magic arms, GoPro mounts, and suction cups and adapters to adapt this system to different types of mounting systems like the NATO rail system. There's basically everything you need for rigging out your camera, even for different systems with the adapters, and there are cages for different cameras as well, so no matter what type of a rig you want to build, you can do it with the Falcam F22 system if you just buy the right parts, no matter which camera and what accessories and gear you have for that camera. I'll have a link down in the description below to Falcam's site where you can browse all the different types of accessories they make for the F22 system, and I'll also have an Amazon affiliate link where you can buy those products. And if you buy through that product, it helps this channel out very much. So thank you very, very much if you buy anything through that Amazon link. If you're wondering about the build quality of this system, I can guarantee you they are very, very solid. Falcam has always impressed me with their build quality, and I can really not say much bad things about the build quality of Falcam products. The F22 system feels really safe to use and it feels like it's going to last a lifetime, and actually the only complaint that I have is that it's so tightly built that when you start using it, it's pretty hard to get the parts to slide in each other, but when they wear down just a tiny bit, it all gets a lot smoother. One more thing that I really appreciate about Falcam products is that the handles are built of a material called micarta, which is kind of, it feels like coarse wood, and it's really good for sweaty hands like mine, and I have really, really sweaty hands, so when my hands start to sweat, these are still very nice to hold. So for sweaty hands, these have been the absolute best gripping handles that I have ever used because they're just, it's a very good material for grips like these. Now, obviously, nothing in this world is perfect, and that is true for the Falcam F22 system as well. And one complaint that I have is that it's not directly compatible with the other mounting systems. Now, what I mean is that you can buy the adapters for things like NATO rails for the Falcam F22, but it would be better if it worked with those other systems straight out of the box. But then again, I don't know if that would have even been possible with the mechanism that the F22 system has. Also, it is odd to me how they made this incredibly good system, but they didn't include it in the bottom of their cage. So if we had an F22 adapter here, we could just have an F22 plate on the bottom of our camera and then just slide the camera in, then press a button and take the camera out. So it would be the absolute fastest way to rig out your camera like completely when you had this cage rig built out. You could just slide your camera in and out with the press of a button, but they don't have it here. So, you know, that's something they could have in this cage, and that would have made this cage an absolute killer product. But even with those small flaws, I really love the Falcam F22 system, and I will keep on using it for as long as I come across something that is better. but I don't really think that is going to happen very soon. If you have any questions about this Falcam F22 system, just drop a comment down below and I will do my best to help you out. But I think that is all for today. I still need to get those paintings up on that wall to make it less dull, you know. The gray wall just doesn't look as good as it could. Let me show you. With these paintings, this is going to look a lot better than these paintings on the floor with the gray wall just behind me. We're gonna get that done. Just, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I will see you in the next one. Shh.